Previously on Beast Wars, there was a war involving beasts. Now back to the story. Dinobot challenges Optimus Primal to a duel to the death, the winner being made leader of the Maximals. Rhinox isn't really convinced that he should automatically follow whoever wins this fight, but Rattrap wants to see them fight because, and I might have mentioned this before, he's an asshole. Optimus says that if Dinobot wants to join the group he can, but not as leader. So it looks like there's going to be a fight no matter what.
I'm going in there! Cheater! Maxim! Clamp it, kitty! Nailing the chopper from behind won't settle anything.
Yeah, you haven't exactly been winning any prizes for makes good decisions today, right, Cheetor? Dinobot gets knocked down, but Optimus isn't going to kill him, so Dinobot zaps him in the eyes, and the ground gives way under Optimus's feet, which leaves him dangling and helpless. But surprisingly, Dinobot helps him back to his feet, saying that defeating Optimus only because he slipped would be dishonorable. He wouldn't have earned his victory. Not that it stops him from attacking Optimus again now that they're both back on their feet. He still wants to murder him, it's just that he prefers to be a sportsman about it, damn it. The fight is interrupted when the Predacons show up, transform, and then shoot a bunch of missiles at the rock bridge. Optimus saves himself and Dinobot, but they're still under fire, and Dinobot is stuck in robot mode in this position. A problem because of that Energon field, remember? They can't last more than a few minutes outside without risk of death. It's like being in Detroit. But Rhinox comes to the rescue, pulling them up, and the rest make a break for the other side before the bridge collapses completely. Although, Rattrap is only saved by Optimus grabbing onto him. This must be the point then, right? Where Optimus Primal earns the respect of Rattrap, who will now fall into line as a loyal...
You're welcome.
You're the leader. It's your, job.
I think this is the point where we have to ask, is Rattrap one of the good guys, or was there just some misunderstanding? Meanwhile, the missiles that had missed strike a nearby mountain and blow the top off, exposing raw Energon. So you can imagine the next destination of the Predacons. The Maximals spot it too, and before Rattrap and Rhinox smash Dinobot, Optimus takes the opportunity to ask him what Megatron's plan will be, which Dinobot is happy to share. Megatron will have Tarantulas carefully cut up all the crystals so that they can be removed. Otherwise, this thing is in danger of exploding. But if they can do that, Megatron will have enough energy to be unstoppable. So all of them, including Dinobot, will be going there to stop them before they become unstoppable. Otherwise, they'll be unstoppable. QED. Our heroes, and Dinobot, and Rattrap, and Cheetor, the five of them, quickly have to take cover because Waspinator and Terrorsaur show up and start attacking. Because of their position, they're in danger of the rock walls crushing them from their own weapons fire. So Optimus flies out there and engages the two solo long enough that they're forced to change back to beast mode. And without any rocks collapsing on us. And Dinobot is a good contender for a guy who does not make good decisions. Rattrap is prepared to kill him over this, although he was spoiling to kill Dinobot the moment after the bridge attack was over. But Optimus reins him in by basically implying that if Rattrap doesn't start listening, he's going to beat the shit out of him. So I really hope Rattrap doesn't start listening. So as everyone reaches the site of the Energon, it's time for the big climactic battle. And this close to the source, well, they have to do so in beast form. So they fight, and they fight, and they fight, and they fight. And Optimus gets a really serious leg wound from Megatron's bite. One of the expected results from fighting a Tyrannosaurus hand-to-hand. But that's not enough for Megatron, so he turns back to robot mode so he could fire a missile at Optimus and finish him off. But Dinobot intervenes and deflects the missile, saving the day. By which I mean destroying them all. They barely escaped the explosion, but Dinobot says that all that was a repayment for Optimus saving his life, not a sign that he is now loyal to Optimus. Which makes him fit in quite well with this team, actually.
So for now, let the battle be here, on this strange primitive world, and let it be called Beast Wars!
Really? What a terrible name. Let's face it, the concept on which this series is based has an uphill battle to it. A complete clearing of the decks of the classic Transformers that were seen in Generation 1 and 2. a reinvention into animals, and the series was going to be CGI using 90s era technology, a period when a 56K modem was the hottest shit on the block. Frankly, if I was being asked to do something with this, I would just quietly weep at my desk, knowing I was doomed. It's for that reason I have to give props for them really thinking outside the box on this one. Optimus Prime was pretty much universally respected by the Autobots, so giving Optimus Primal, a guy who was willing to openly defy him and to his face, and suggested that he was not up to the job, is already setting them apart from the original. And making one of the people on his side a defector from the other side, and not because of ideology, but simply because he'd been thrown out, now adds this crazy X factor to the Maximal's side. Throw in that Cheetor is way too impulsive, and Optimus Primal is leading a group that is anything but the unified team that you would expect the good guys to have. Teamwork, after all, is one of the lessons these kinds of shows always have, so intentionally making the team dysfunctional right out of the gate and not resolving that at the end of the first story was a really interesting creative decision, allowing for much more complicated interactions and leaving the characters with room to grow. Likewise, making this new Megatron seem much more sophisticated, feeling less of a need to personally kick the ass of everyone who annoys him, and speaking with this expanded vocabulary, was a bold step given what a popular villain the original Megatron was. You've got to hand it to them. The creators of the show were dealt a really rough hand, and yet were nevertheless willing to meet that challenge head-on with an attitude of, if we fail, by God, we'll go down swinging. While the introductions are a bit excessive, we get yet another round of every Predacon saying their name with terrorize afterwards. But this two-part story was a good introduction to a radical reinvention of what this franchise is, and no doubt contributed to the success that the toy line had by doing something that had always been the strength for the Transformers, that they were first and foremost characters.
All hail the Overlord! All hail the Overlord!
Says you!
That's right, says me. You want to question my orders one more time?